Good morning, everybody. Who's rubbing their hands together for this show? Because I definitely am. I think we're live. Can you hear me? Can you let me know in the chat? Because we've had some technical issues. I think there's a big outage on Amazon AWS, but I'm pretty sure I've got the live show working. Let me know if you can hear me. And if you can, let's get on with today's show. Because I tell you what, it's probably going to be the show of the year. Good. We're live. I was dead panicking. That was not going to be working. What's that going over there? That's been a stressful morning. How are you doing? You know how I'm doing. We waited nearly 10 years for that, people. We waited nearly 10 years for that. And it felt, it felt good. And it had to be a late winner. Harry Maguire coming up clutch. We're going to run through the game. We're going to speak about your reactions. We're going to speak about your comments. We're going to speak about Amorim's post-match comments. We're going to speak about Maguire's performance, Liverpool Lammens' performance, Mbeumo, Cunha, Ahmad, the team, the win, the momentum that hopefully now creates. Jeez, we've been crying out for momentum. And Ruben Amorim, you know what, lads? I'm just going to wait until Anfield to finally win 2 Premier League games in a row. It's going to be a good show, all right? I'm going to try and answer as many of your comments as I possibly can, but I tell you what, it's going to be busy and in a good way because we have had plenty of Mondays where we've had to come here, and I'm always here, come rain or shine. It's just there's been a lot more rain. Today it's shining. And I tell you what, I thought this was going to happen. And the community just delivers. Schwab, Mania, JC, and Gungshi are all dropping in there, gifting 20 memberships each. You're all legends, man. All of you. And I tell you what, I'm still rubbing my hands together. I've had quite a few comments about the hoodie. Big fan of the hoodie. Not the best hoods, though. The hood's not in a good shape. Alan saying alive and kicking after yesterday. Let's get into the show. Let's say hello to everyone this morning. I apologize. I've been a little bit stressed because I've used this software all summer long for months and months and months. Zero problems. And on the morning of what I would say is the biggest live show of the season, none of it works. And I have to figure out a completely new way of doing it. But I think it's working. JC, good morning to you. Carl, Gungshi, Alan, I saw you there. James Wilson, we've got Adrian, we've got John, Brian, we've got Isaac, we've got Ali, we've got Peggy, we've got lots more here. Ant saying, just here for my flowers, told you to have faith. And to be fair to Dan on the podcast, the latest podcast is out, by the way. We'll be putting the video out on YouTube for members only a little bit later because we still haven't quite figured out how to get that on Spotify just yet. But Dan called it 2-1. Some of you called it. My prediction was 1-1. And it was going that way. But I'm very, very, very glad. Exactly. Rashid down there. The results from the poll on Friday. What was it, like 58% of you? I think said that United were going to win. What's your just immediate comments and thoughts on the game? I'll tell you the structure of the show today. To begin with, I'm going to speak about Ruben Amorim. I'm going to speak about his approach in that game, which you're damn right deserves praise. And the amount of times he's been criticised about the system and the shape and this and that. The way he set United up yesterday worked. And it was done for a specific reason. And then we're going to speak about individuals after we speak about the team. We'll speak about Maguire, Lammens, as I said, Cunha, Ahmad, and Mbeumo. Quite a few you can actually have a conversation about. DP saying luck was on our side and the team went into battle. In games like this, you do need a bit of luck. United had a bit of that yesterday. Well, they hit the post 2-3 times. We hit the post as well, by the way. Bruno in that first half, man. If that goal had gone in, man, the whole move from Senny first time smacking it through, don't know who it was. Was it Isaac and Gakpo? And the move, and then Cunha with the crossfield ball. Ahmad with the cutback to Bruno. Then he clipped the post. And you're saying it was tactically smart from Ruben. I thought the subs were bang on too. Shout out to Lammens, says Mania. Glad I got up at 3 a.m, says Dan, to watch it. Yeah, 8 minutes. 8 minutes stoppage time. I mentioned that in the pod. I was like, what? Where did that come from? I was dead confused. Schwab saying, to be honest, Sam, this channel provides comfort during the good and the bad times. I'll tell you what, dude. We've had many a Monday. We've had to come here and it's been doom and gloom and it's been bad. So in days like this, enjoy it. Like today, I think Ruben Amorim said this yesterday himself. Just enjoy it. Just enjoy reveling in the moment. And then tomorrow we can start thinking about forward planning. We can start thinking about Brighton. Toby gifted 10 memberships as well. Good morning to you as well, man. I'm sorry, but I haven't seen I'm yet to see Sky Sports releasing the videos of Gary Neville sitting there and enjoying the celebrations. I swear we got those immediately after the 7-0 and the 4-0. Bastards. Goody morning, goody morning. That's a good one. Whoever made that. That's a good one. That's a good one. Come on, man. Whoever made that. That's top tier. That's top quality. I think I just made a little theme tune there. Garlic bread, man. Good morning to you, man. To everybody. You're all generous as hell. Alex is saying Amorim got it spot on with the 10s. Humble pie for us. Twerkes. He was twerking again. Should have been 3 up at half time. Someone down there, Rick, saying salty Liverpool fans complaining that play wasn't stopped for 2 players. What are you talking about? That's such a weird one. Van Dijk elbowed his own player. Someone down there saying, who is that? If you don't know who that is, that's United Strand, who, of course, isn't a United fan. He's not cutting his hair until United win 5 games in a row. Won 2 in a row, all right? He's as close as he's ever been. But they've lost 4 in a row. Shabuga mentioned it there, like, Slot moaning about long balls. We went into that game with a very specific game plan to expose the weaknesses of Liverpool. And it worked. And I tell you what, I actually sort of misunderstood it a little bit in the podcast. And Nick corrected me. Now, I want to run through it. As I said, I want to speak about this man first. He's taken a lot of stick and a lot of it fairly, right? Let's be completely correct. Emmanuel, I'm not on TikTok today because I've had to go differently. I'm not using a platform where you can stream to multiple platforms at the same time. I'm just on YouTube. For some reason, the one I was using, Restream, is completely down. And I had a look. I think AWS is down. There must be some sort of outages. It's not my fault, but we're going live directly on YouTube instead. Amorim's had a lot of stick, and I said a lot of it has been fair. But something that happened yesterday, and we speak about this so often that it becomes really, really repetitive. Like, cliches exist for a reason. Every single one of those players yesterday, every single one of them, played as a complete collective. Like, I know you have to give man of the match to Harry Maguire. I know you do. He was fantastic, dominant at both ends of the pitch. But there were so many players from that game yesterday, and I will speak about quite a few of them, that had excellent performances. Like, we didn't win that game yesterday just because Harry Maguire knocked in an 84th minute winner. I mean, I suppose literally we did. But overall, it was the team collective performance. And in the second half was utter chaos. And especially, like, if you think about how that game went, second half, Liverpool certainly got back into it a bit more. First half, we should have had the game dead and buried, but we didn't. Second half, they got into it more. And then Slot was throwing on every single attacker. They had 5 up front. They were outnumbering our bloody defence at times. And they got the equaliser in the 77th minute. From that point on, the United we know, you go, well, I know it's coming now. Anfield, it was raucous after that. But we then went and got the winner from that moment and from that situation. And that's down to the team, to the collective, to the approach, to the belief that the team had. Matt is saying, Sam, as bad as we've been, we're a Bruno penalty and a keeper error from being a point off the top of the table. Things are suddenly looking up. Oh, Matt, it's kind of like the swings of being Manchester United right now. They are just spectacularly huge. Because I will run through the Premier League table. But that's what winning at Anfield can do. We've not done it in 10 years, people. Nearly 10 years. Like, just think about that. That's so damn long. So long since we've had the opportunity to be here and to celebrate winning at Anfield. Louis van Gaal was the last manager to do so. Right? Think about all the managers that have not been able to do that. Jose Mourinho, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Erik ten Hag. Did Ralph Rangnick even play there? Not even sure he did. But this man here deserves praise for how he set that team out yesterday. I'm going to run through and explain that now. But I tell you what, I've got to go back down to the chat here because it's going absolutely bonkers. JC is saying, Sam, at least give us the empty chair again. I wonder what Fergie thought about that. I saw him, he was busy sharing his dairy milk buttons with Kenny Dalglish, which was nice of him. But I've got to stop here because, JC, you gifted 20 memberships. And then on top of that, Ezra Obiwal and Alan Noonan have both gifted 50. Can I go down here and gift some myself? Where do I do it? No, it won't let me for some reason. I think something's not collected. Man, to every single one of you, today is a day just to enjoy it. Enjoy it in the chat. Enjoy it in the comments. Enjoy it everywhere. Take advantage of it. Like we've been swimming through crap for a good few years as United fans. And this season, we've been battered as well. Just be annoying as hell. As soon as United are good again, I swear to God, I'm going to be absolutely insufferable. I'm going to be insufferable. And for today, I'm going to be insufferable. But Amorim, right? Can I quickly speak about this? Let me know what you thought about this when you saw it when the team news came out. Honestly, what was your reaction to that starting 11? Because I know what mine was. They were more than, oh, yeah, I like that. I was glad that Senny Lamont started. I looked at that back three and I saw Shaw, Maguire and De Ligt. And I was like, I looked up front and I saw Šeško on the bench. I looked at Yora on the bench. Right? I looked at Delo starting. I was like, But I will say this, and I promise you this isn't Captain Hindsight speaking. I've looked at teams that United managers have put out, and I've thought, that's a perfect team. That's the strongest 11 I've ever seen. And then we're crap, and then we go and get beaten. And then I look at teams like that, and I go, It's confusing. But I tell you what, it worked. This was Ruben Amorim before the game. Harry Maguire has a lot of experience, and he can help with set pieces. Tick. Cunha has a characteristic that can help the team project forward. The ball carrying. Tick. Van Dijk and Konate like confrontation in the air, so we'll try to give them different things. And I tell you what, that's what I was a little bit misguided on in the podcast. Because I was really confused watching Senny knock the ball long all the time, like into Van Dijk and Konate. But actually, we were doing that on purpose. And we weren't really challenging them that much because we were going for the second ball. And you'll notice that the first goal was scored exactly from a second ball after Van Dijk decided to elbow McAllister in the back of the head and go, Just get your ass out, little twerk. The little Van Dijk wriggle. When's his first album coming out? It was the second balls. So actually what we did was, let's just boot it long and just let Van Dijk and Konate win the headers and then just go for the second ball instead. It was an approach which I wasn't expecting. And it's an approach that worked. And like Slot's out there like losing his... I tell you what, Arne Slot and Jurgen Klopp, one massive thing in common. They are crap losers. They must have been arseholes as kids. Probably just arseholes anyway. Awful losers. Like great at winning. As soon as they lose it, it's the wind. I was wearing the wrong colour pants. It's everything but my fault. It's everything but my fault. Awful, awful. Sore losers. Anyway, Amorim got it spot on. Right? It's not that we've been quick to criticise Ruben Amorim, but it's been easy to criticise Ruben Amorim and the system. Like, the system worked. The system actually really made Van Dijk's day difficult because he didn't know whether or not to mark Mbeumo because he thought it was going to be Kirkez, who played crap as well. That our right-hand side quality made their left-hand side look awful. And that same quality from Ahmad and Mbeumo, I'll speak about both of those two later. That's probably the third game. I think Burnley, Sunderland, and Liverpool now, where I've watched Ahmad and Mbeumo, and I'm like, there it is. That's the partnership I was looking forward to. But the setup worked. It really worked. And that was the biggest win for Ruben Amorim. And Gary Neville and Roy Keane, of course, who have been heavy critics. I suppose they have been heavy critics of Ruben Amorim. And because they are such powerful voices in the United community and respected, their voices carry further. Gary, after the game, saying, what a moment for Ruben Amorim. To win at Anfield is huge. And Roy Keane saying, look, we've all criticised the group, but today they showed courage. They hung in there, and it's a big moment for these players, and they should enjoy it. And they should enjoy it. Everybody should enjoy it. I'm going to go down and read some of your comments here. Alex is saying proactive subs as well. Amorim made changes before the witching hour. I thought the subs were all bang on. Who was it? Yoro came on. Ugarte came on as soon as Casemiro got a yellow. Ahmad, I wouldn't have taken Ahmad off if he didn't have a yellow card, but he did have a yellow card. That's exactly why Ruben Amorim took him off. And he explained that. I think Mainu coming on for Bruno. Is that the first time we've seen Mainu come on for Bruno directly in a game? And just after Bruno, by the way, got that cross from Bruno. Man, you're taking the piss. Doing that on the volley in the 85th minute away at Anfield. Are you kidding me? That's assist of the season. You are not going to better that assist. That is a joke of an assist. Bruno. Rex is saying, I played Helldivers with my Liverpool mate last night. He was as slow and clumsy as Van Dijk. Is that a war game? I never played that one. Looks quite good, though. Man. Anyway, look at this, peeps. I know Bruno. I don't know whether Bruno has been subbed directly for Mainu is the thing I was trying to point out. But look at the table here, right? Zoom in a bit. No, I can't zoom in actually because you can't see it. United now as well. We're 6 points off top. We are 1 point behind Chelsea. We are 2 points behind Liverpool. We are 3 points behind City. Oh, is it second time he went off against Chelsea? There you go. Thank you very much. That's definitely something new, though, is my point. Even if it was late in the game, I suppose. It is just amazing what not only a couple of wins can do, but winning at Anfield. Winning at Anfield, man. There's going to be quite a few of you in the comments that can't even remember the last time we bloody won at Anfield. Because it was Wayne Rooney in 2016. Top 6 has always been the ambition this season. That's what Omar Barada said in his interview with Andy Mitten. In United we stand. Going into the season, top 6 was the ambition. So we are absolutely bang on schedule so far. And we have played City away. We've played Liverpool away. We've played Chelsea. We've played Arsenal. So we've played 4 of the top 5 currently in 8 of our games. We've also played Sunderland as well. I'll speak about what's coming up next. But let's just enjoy this game and what happened yesterday. For that, man. Tech Clom, it's your birthday today. Happy birthday. You see what you're saying down there. We won 4 in the last 6. Have we? Burnley. Can't remember the other one. Paul saying just need to improve the goal difference. Right. Let's run through now. So I've had a conversation about the team. I've had a conversation about Amorim. I want to have a conversation about Maguire. Now, you'll remember I did a video last week where I spoke quite vocally about how I didn't want Casemiro. I just thought it would have been a mistake for Manchester United to give a new contract to Casemiro and Maguire. And I tell you what, I probably overlooked when I did that is just how much of a role model Maguire. Because I'm doing that. I'm speaking about that from like a footballing perspective. Like, it just doesn't feel right to give Maguire a new contract. But I think there's sort of intangibles that I don't appreciate and understand enough. Because I tell you what, I think he really is a role model. Have a look at this video. This is from the Premier League. This is in the dressing room. Listen to Bruno Fernandes at the end. I'm going to get shut down for copyright on that one. Make sure. What's your thoughts on Maguire, on that goal, on him as a Manchester United role model, and just sort of just have a little conversation about Maguire? And you're talking about the fact that he lost his head as captain. The captain was a heavy burden for Maguire, which he never really thrived in. But since he got the captaincy removed, and that in itself can be something that can be something which breaks a player. Having the captaincy removed. It's quite publicly humiliating. But that knee slide, man. That goal. Hezron's saying he deserves a new contract. Look, as I said, I think from a strictly footballing perspective, I will stand by what I said. That I wouldn't want Maguire to get a new contract. But I'm telling you, like, from the sort of the intangibles that I can't see, and none of us will ever be able to see, like his influence as a role model, his influence in the dressing room, that knee slide as well. Fire strike, you're saying, even if it was on lower wages, that's what I mean. I was speaking from a strictly football perspective, but I get the feeling he's going to get a new contract. Oh, wrong one. For probably a year-long contract, maybe. And you're kind of something you're saying down there. That was such a mistake for United to stop that. Basically, what United used to do with players who were over 30 under Fergie, they used to give them rolling one-year contracts. And then if they were good enough that season, they got one the next season. And it kept those players who were coming towards, I suppose, the end of their careers right on their toes because they have to earn that new contract every single year. And it worked with so many players, by the way. Maybe we're going to bring that back. But Maguire deserved that moment. I tell you what, he has come up clutch. Like, what are his clutch moments? Obviously, Lyon happened last year. Anfield this year. Can't remember any. I was off the top of my head. What other ones are there? I swear there's like 4 or 5. Smoothest knee slide in the world. Bilbao. What else we got down here? Porto. Also the best penalty taker in the bloody world. Did Chelsea away? Was that his first goal? Did he celebrate like that? Plymouth, was it? Did we play? Was it Plymouth? What was his first goal? I swear his first goal was in the FA Cup and it was an absolute scorcher. Was Coventry him? Man, he's got a long list. We're going to have to do a little carousel of that on Instagram. But yeah, look at this. This from Laurie Whittle. It's a class video. This is Maguire coming back over to the away end yesterday. Tranmere, that was his first goal. Couldn't remember that. That was an absolute blaster, wasn't it? I swear it was outside the box, right in top bins. We all still talk about that Juan Mata goal. Didn't win the Premier League that season. Was that the season won the FA Cup? Was that Van Gaal's second season? It was Van Gaal's second season, I think. But moments like that live on. Doesn't really matter what happens in the rest of the season. And that's something for Harry Maguire that will be... immortal is a bit of a strong word. Iconic is a better word. Ibuka down there saying that Harry is the epitome of mental resilience. And I did a video... I suppose calling myself out a little bit, because you know how vocal I was at the criticism of Harry Maguire at the time. And I did a video, I think that's 5-6 months ago, where we spoke about the sort of redemption arc that he had been on. And I suppose that's the end of the redemption arc right there. Getting the winner at Anfield. If that win, if that can't be something that creates genuine momentum for these lads, I don't think any win ever can. There isn't a bigger win that we could have this season. Because we're out of Europe. That win there is probably bigger than winning an FA Cup final. I genuinely mean that. We won an FA Cup final under Erik ten Hag. What did that lead to? Sweet FA. And that was in really tough circumstances. We were 6-1 against. Everyone thought we were going to get dominated against City, and we won 2-1. It was an awesome, incredible day. I remember the reaction. We had fun that day, and that was when I nicked a bottle of Prosecco. But we've not won at Anfield in 10 years. If that can't be something that creates the momentum that we're desperate for, then I don't think anything will. And as I said, Ruben Amorim speaking after the game, saying that he's an example for everyone after everything he's been through. And this is what I mean. I might have been premature in saying... Premature? No, that's not the right word. I might have just been focusing on the wrong things when I was speaking about the fact that I didn't think Maguire should get a new contract. Because I think from a human perspective, and that shouldn't really be the measure of whether a player gets new contracts or not, but we're talking about Man United. We're talking about a team of mentally fragile players. And then you've got the best bloody example that I think we've had in a long time. One of the best examples you're going to see in the modern Premier League of somebody who's come through it all and come through it shining at the other end. So why would you get rid of that player if you can keep him in and around the players and maybe influence them in a positive way for another year? That's what I mean. I think I might have been looking at it from the wrong perspective. Alex is saying you didn't want Maguire and Shaw to start yesterday. No, did I? They wouldn't have been in my starting 11. Well, Euro definitely was. Alex saying, do you think this will be the moment the penny drops to the players with the system? Can they finally kick on? Yeah. Being polite, that win wasn't about the system. If we had lost, it wouldn't have been about the system. The win yesterday was that the players gave a shit. The players turned up. And I tell you what, the players performed at both ends. Now, could we have made it easier for ourselves in the first half? Oh, yep. Bruno could have scored. We had a couple more chances that we could have and should have done better with as well. But this man here, I said going into the game that I felt the most important players in that game were going to be Šeško, he was on the bench, and Lammens. He delivered. And I'll be honest, again, I don't think, apart from this one moment, well, this definitely deserves to be pulled out as a bit of real praise. I think Lammens did the simple things properly. Quite a few of the saves, he made himself big for that Salah miss. He was in the right place at the right time. He came and commanded a couple of times, but it was this one that stood out. In the first half, United 1-0 up. Isaac clean through. You're thinking he's going to score, given how much we've seen from Isaac in the Premier League in the last couple of years. But he made himself big. It was like a De Gea save with his feet. And even got the rebound as well, man. That second one, even though it was offside. Is it a coincidence that Manchester United have won our first 2 consecutive games in a row in the Premier League under Ruben Amorim when we've actually got a competent goalkeeper between the sticks? I probably don't think so. I really don't think so. All right, Siraji down there saying, first time I felt comfortable. I felt safe from Lammens. I felt that in the Sunderland game. But man, it just makes the world of difference. It just makes the world of difference just having a competent goalkeeper. That's the word. Against Sunderland, Lammens was competent. At Anfield, in front of the Kop as well, he was competent. He was confident. He wasn't phased. And that's what we've had between the six. We've had goalkeepers who are affected by the occasions and affected in a wrong way of being a United goalkeeper. That's not what Senny's looked like in these last couple of games, man. Harry Maguire speaking about him after the game here, saying, look, he's heavily impressed. I don't want to get carried away because he's playing in the position with the most pressure, but he's got everything. It just feels good. It just feels good to have a goalkeeper that I think hey, look, every game that he plays right now, he's going to be the talking point. He's going to be the talking point until people get bored and go and talk elsewhere. And people will get bored talking about Senny Lammens in the press and everywhere else after he's had a few games and he's just keeping clean sheets. Well, it's a bit boring to talk about him now. Oh, what you're just going to point out really another good performance? Nah, stop that. Let's focus on something else. At some point, and he started this really strongly, his performances will mean that the narrative of United's goalkeeper being in the spotlight will mute down a bit, will quieten down a bit. The focus will go elsewhere. Hopefully the focus will go on the opposition. That's what he's done. Mirko, look, you're not wrong there, and I think everyone can see the irony in it. Saying our standards have really dropped when a competent goalkeeper is what we need to be happy. But it's the same as anything in life. I don't know why I'm randomly thinking about this. That's because I was watching Anthony Bourdain last night. But if you've got like a really slow pace of life, you might go on holiday and you want to really have a fast pace and enjoyable holiday. You go and do things. If you've got a really, really fast pace in life, you want to go on holiday and just kind of just sit down, relax and do nothing. If you want what you haven't had, we haven't had a competent goalkeeper. We've been starved of one. We've just been starved of somebody who just stands between the sticks, makes the occasional decent save, and then doesn't really balls up. Doesn't put your heart in your mouth. That's what he's doing. That's all I've wanted him to do. And it's felt like too much to ask from Onana, from Bayindir, from goalkeepers for a long time. And even De Gea's last couple of years. It's been a long time. And he started really well. And to do that in his first away game. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. More trust, exactly what it is. And you can see it in the players as well. I'm telling you, in the back of their minds, when these players were playing in front of Onana or Bayindir, they're back in their mind thinking, just don't balls up, don't balls up. Should I pass to him? He might balls up. Might. Gordon, you're saying his kicking needs to improve? Dude, in that first game against Sunderland, I think his kicking was absolutely spot on. And that's what I think. I couldn't see the tactic in game. Now I can when I'm looking back on it. I thought he was just booting the ball long into complete space and just bringing pressure on us. But I think he was actually going a little bit over long so that when they won the header, which they did invariably quite a lot, we would then have the opportunity to win the second ball because you wouldn't be competing up against Van Dijk or Konate. It actually feels like that was on purpose. And that save there, that was his moment, right? That was his moment. And then moving on from him, and this is what I mean. Like, this is this is what I enjoy so much about a proper team performance. Like, we don't have to just focus on one individual. Like, as a collective, there's so many that you can speak about. And Brian Mbeumo, like, we spoke quite a lot at the start of the season about which player do we think is going to have, which new signing do we think is going to have the biggest impact on United this season? I think I still stand by the fact that I feel Cunha overall is going to have a bigger impact, because I think he's involved more in the game than Mbeumo is, and more in different phases of the game. But in terms of his output, like, Brian Mbeumo's your finisher, man. That goal that we scored at the start was class. Lovely little dinked pass from Bruno over to Ahmad. Ahmad beats his man, passes it round Van Dijk, and Mbeumo, first time, right foot shot, finish. His output, his efficiency output is, as Alex says, exceptional. His work rate out of possession was exceptional. A menace. It's a great word to describe him. He caused them problems the whole game, and he's got the finishing to match. Really, I'm really loving him, man. I'm really, really loving his output. Said this after the game as well. Whipped out the Salah celebration. Daz, you're saying Premier League proven makes a difference in a game like this. And look, mate, I was literally standing up celebrating probably like 3, maybe 4 times in that second half when Cunha just had the ball. And this especially away at Anfield. And especially when you're 1-0 up and you're going into the last 25 minutes of the game and Liverpool really squeezing down on you. Cunha just took the ball and went, I've got it, lads. What do you mean I'm surrounded by 2 or 3 players? That's right. I'll hold him off. I'll squeeze through that gap. I'll hold the ball for 5 seconds just so we don't have to pass somewhere else. And just like release the pressure by taking the pressure on myself. Because you couldn't really get pushed off the ball. There was one moment in that game down towards... I think it was Dorgu, down in our left-back position. Cunha got the ball. I think it was quite a naff pass from Dorgu, but he managed to get it. I think hold Salah off, turned around, fell on the floor, got back up, still had the ball, still had 2 players around him, and then passed it back. Then we still had possession. I was like, how has he done that? Cunha is a scrapper. And I just, you know what I think about ball carries. You know, that's why I was so desperate for, not desperate. That's why I was so excited about signing him. And I think you probably got the best example of that against Liverpool. And in the toughest of scenarios as well. Just both of them. Like, I'm glad that we signed both of them. Right? Let me see what you're saying down here in the chat. Brendan's saying, Cunha doing a lot of the dog work. And he's not afraid of it. In fact, he probably actively wants it. He'll drop deeper. He'll come far deeper than Mbeumo will, because Mbeumo will be like, I'm up here. If you can find me, I've got space, bro. I've got the pace. I'll beat them. That one in the second half, I thought he was going to get around Konate. To be fair, Konate actually defended quite well. Neil, I screamed in celebration and scared the crap out of my cat. Jonathan's saying Cunha's time will come. Again, I said this on the podcast. Like, Cunha's not scored a goal yet. But there's not any part of me that's annoyed with Cunha or thinking, oh, he's not delivering. Oh, there's question Cunha. I've got no questions. I've got no concerns about Cunha and whether or not he's going to be a success at United, because he's doing a lot of good work off the ball. The goals will come. I imagine they'll come in a flurry. Hell, he might score 2 against Brighton. That'd be good. But Cunha is such an asset to this team. I think that was probably his best game, I think, in a United shirt. I think the contribution that he gave to that win was massive. Zemi saying, saw a tweet saying Fergie would also judge a player based on how they performed at Anfield. Cunha and Mbeumo and Lammens all showed they have the bottle to be United players. And it wasn't even just them, was it? That's what I mean. This is what I can pick out so many different players. And I'm going to pick out Ahmad, and I'm going to speak about Ahmad. Like, so much has been said about Ahmad at right wing back. And let's be totally honest, Ahmad's had a little bit of a muted season so far. There's been games, and I'm going to pick all three out again. It's Burnley, it's Sunderland, and now it's Liverpool away. They're 3 games where the Ahmad and Bumo partnership down that right-hand side worked and was our biggest threat. And they couldn't do anything. Kirkes and Van Dijk couldn't do anything. Sunderland couldn't do anything either. Reggie Debris, the manager, spoke about it after the game. Neither of those 2 teams had any answer to what United were doing down the right with Ahmad and Mbumo. I stood by it. I will stand by it. Ahmad's best position in this team is right wing back. We just haven't seen him flourish enough. And I tell you what, I actually think defensively, I think he had the hardest game there because Gakpo was 75% of Liverpool's threat. That's a well-timed. I love that tee. I love that design, man. Gakpo was Liverpool's most dangerous attacker by some margin. And it was all the attacks were down that side. So the balls were kept coming over the top. De Ligt came across to cover him sometimes. I think positionally, I think he did quite well. Defensively, he did quite well. Going forward, I think he did well. And look, as he says after the game, if he wasn't on that yellow card, by the way, that yellow card, and I think Gary Neville and Jamie Carragher spoke about it during the game. I mean, come on, man. How is that a yellow card for Ahmad? It was a really good tackle, and the foot goes through. It wasn't malicious. You can't stop the momentum of a sliding leg when you've won the ball. What are you supposed to do? Just stop immediately, like you've hit a concrete wall. It's dumb. But that combo of Ahmad and Mbumo, I'm starting to see why that was... I said that was a partnership I was most looking forward to seeing. You could have spoken about, I'm looking forward to seeing Cunha and Dorgu and how they play down the left-hand side, of course. Or how Bruno and Šeško are going to maybe link up. Bruno's playing a lot deeper. But Ahmad and Mbumo and that right flank becoming just a problem for United, that is such a strength of this team now. Any team that plays against us, Brighton are going to have to now prepare this week. Right, lads, watch out. United are going to do this down the right-hand side. So whoever's their left back, I don't know who plays left back for them. I'll look at that this week. They're going to have to plan for how strong our right-hand side is now. And it's been a long time since we've been able to say stuff like that. Yeah, people are talking about it as well. I don't disagree with you. Dalot being a weak link. You know what I think about Dalot. I think he's a very good professional. But I just think from a technical perspective, United can do better. Clinton saying Ruben's gone to Anfield twice now and played like this. Well, we got the win today. Yesterday. I'll speak about that in a little bit, actually. Let's just go back to... One second. I've got something really important to show you here. One sec. If you can't have fun on a day like this, man, you can never have fun on a day like the amount of jabs that we've had to bloody deal with. I've got uppercutted about 100 times on these live shows. I swear to God, every humiliation we've come through. Give me those videos of Gary Neville enjoying that Maguire winner. All right? Come on. Come on, babe. Please. Right? Now back to... Yeah, we do deserve it. We do deserve it. Back to the point here that Ruben is making after the game. Okay, like, we'll enjoy the moment. We'll enjoy today. But as soon as tomorrow comes, right, okay, then we focus on it. After the game. So I'm concerned about Brighton. I've got a year experience here. I will enjoy it. I'm not dumb. I have to. But let's focus on Brighton. And that's what happens in football. As soon as the loss leaves or like the win leaves, and it's the next game. It's the next game. It's always next week. It's looking forward. But United need... Yeah, need is the only word to use here. United have got to turn that win against Liverpool at Anfield into something that changes Manchester United. Brighton, 5:30 on a Saturday. Tell you what, I chose a pretty decent game to go to. I am looking forward to that. Old Trafford is going to be bouncing because for the first time in a long time, there's actual momentum. We've gone and won at Anfield after we beat Sunderland. Why can't we make it 3 wins in a row? Why can't we make it 4 wins and go and beat Forest, who's going to have bloody Sean Dyche in? You know exactly how Forest are going to play now. Unfortunately, it makes the United game against Forest a lot harder. But turn that into something more, lads. Make sure that that win... Wrong one. I didn't even mean to pull that one up. Just make sure that you turn it into something else. Alex saying live post-match reaction from the Stretford end. I'd never do that. I'll be honest, I don't know how people can do that. How people film themselves in stadiums. I just can't do it. I'm crap at doing it. I'm very, I don't know, aware. I'll go to the game, or watching the Stretford end, and I'll do my match reaction after the game. It doesn't have to be inside it. I always feel a little bit awkward. Someone down there saying, why doesn't Amorim play Mainu? It's like, hey, lads, like, I've got no energy for any of you that are going to come out and have conversations about, oh, why didn't this play? Why didn't he come on? Nah, man. That's not for today. That is not for today. Any last comments about the game? All right. Fire them in. Can I say something here quickly? I want to explain something to you all. So I've been saying to you that I've been busy doing quite a lot of things, and I have been busy doing a lot of stuff. So I want to show you some photos here because finally finished. I've been doing some work on the house. I say I've been doing it. Contractors have been doing it. But I want to show you what's been done because I'm pretty proud of this. And now that it's done, it gives me a lot more space to focus on what we're doing here. This is my garden. All right. Moved into a house in April. And we've been doing some work. This whole outbuilding's gone. And I want to show you what it now looks like. Because I'm pretty damn proud of it. I think it looks phenomenal. And the whole garden has been completely changed, completely scrapped. New outbuilding. The whole garden's been dug up, flattened, the whole shebang. And it's been a lot of work that's been going on for a couple of months. And then inside there, which is something I'm very, very happy about, the gym's been built. All right, this is something that I've been working on for a long, long time. Big up to my dad, big up to Dave as well for helping build that rack, because that would have been ridiculous. It couldn't build that with one person. So the gym is now there, right? I'm going to be in there 4 or 5 times a week. You know how hard I've been working on the rehab side of things. This now gives me the ability to be able to work as much as I need to, which is what I do with this community, and then have this, right? It's been a lot of work. Yeah, my own Carrington. I can't wait to start using it. Today will be the first time. So yeah, that's what we've gone from. An outbuilding and a garden which is pretty unusable to that. And I'm really, really, swimming pool in the grass area, that's what we need. I remember when I was a kid, I always used to think, you know what, I've made it in life. It was when I'm an adult, I'm going to have my own swimming pool. Samington. I'll take that. We'll get a little sign up. But yeah, that's happened. So I'm really happy about that. And that's been finished on the weekend. That's why a video didn't go out. Oh, I can't remember what day it was. Right. We've waited 10 years for this, people. 10 years. Right? And it felt every bit as good. I'll be honest, I was in bits watching quite a lot of that game. The last 30 minutes felt like torture. Right? Really did feel like torture. But the lads came out of the other side and we won. Content plans for this week. If anybody's got any ideas, I guarantee you, right? I guarantee we have a good week. Today I'm going to do what we learned watching that game. And I'll tell you what, we actually learned genuinely quite a lot in that game. The tactical approach that worked, it was purposeful. It was bold and it could have blown up in his face, but it But it didn't. It worked completely. All right? Thank you all for tuning in. I'm glad that the live show actually worked today. I need to figure out how to stop this now. But at least it worked. The party, we'll get everyone down here for a fan meetup. Someone down there, Diogo, saying, are you Amorim in now? Look, if I can say my final piece on Amorim for today and we'll wrap this up. I'm trying to get a photo of Amorim up first. After the Brentford game, I said to you all, I said, the reason I've lost faith in Ruben Amorim to create momentum was because I didn't think that I didn't think any tweaks were ever coming. It just didn't feel like they were after the Brentford game and after the chaotic subs towards the end. But then what's happened in our following 2 games is we've tweaked. We've changed. Against Sunderland, we went more direct and it worked. And then we built on that and we went more direct against Liverpool, but also with the second balls in mind. So we actually took what we did against Sunderland forward against Liverpool. We evolved a little bit. We tweaked it a little bit. Senny's made a big difference at the back. But these tweaks are ones that I didn't think were coming. That's why I lost faith. But I tell you what, and I've said this in a podcast, and I'll say I would love nothing more than Ruben Amorim to succeed, to come through this. I tell you what, it'll make him so strong as a manager. Right? Lunchtime video today is going to be what we learned against Liverpool, and the content this week is going to be fire. I'm going to enjoy it. You're going to enjoy it. Thank you all for tuning in today. Can I just say to this community, I love you all. I've got to try and read some names out here. That was just an incredible show of generosity. All of you, by the way, the Discord memberships are all working now. The YouTube accounts, if you connect it on Discord, you go into the members-only chat now. And I'll be dropping the video version of the podcast for members only. So all of you have got membership. You'll be able to watch the video version of the podcast today. So to Shawab, to Mania, to JC, to Gungshi, to who else down here as well? To Jibak, to Ezra, to Alan. Thank you all for gifting memberships and thank you all for being part of this community. We've had a lot of rough. Today is the smooth. Take it easy, everyone.